The infinite game has no end, and why politicians won't see eye to eye. In this video, Simon Sinek explains that management of a society is an ongoing process, but politicians approach it with a limited perspective and perceive concessions as defeat.
One of the big mistakes that I think companies make is they think of the sales goals as the end all be all, and they have no higher purpose, no higher contribution other than the goal itself. And so we overuse war and sports analogies to hit that goal, right? It's all very finite thinking, as if it's the end. I like to think of business much more like a lifestyle. It's much more like being healthy, right? The purpose is to be healthy, for example. And there are many things we have to do to be healthy. We have to eat right, we have to exercise, we have to get enough sleep, we have to nurse our personal relationships. There's probably 30 other things as well. It's the same in business. We have to have good marketing, we have to have good leadership, good product, good sales force, all of these things. And it's hard to maintain all of those things at very high level all the time. They sort of wax and wane. The opportunity is to work hard. It's an infinite game to keep those things going all the time. And it is perfectly acceptable to set arbitrary goals within that context. Now, most sales goals are arbitrary. Somebody sat in an office and said, we're going to hit this number by this date. And so we all went and did it, right? Which, like, if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, you say, I want to lose X amount of weight by X date. And you do all the things you have to do to lose that weight. You exercise, you eat right, you weigh yourself every day, you count the metrics. Metrics are very, very healthy. People like metrics. If you think about running a marathon without mile markers, it's actually unnerving. We need to be able to count our progress to feel like we're moving forward. It's a basic human need. And so we count, we look down at the scale every day. Some days we feel good, some days we feel bad. And we hit our goal on the right day, we feel amazing, like hitting a sales goal. But here's the problem. You have to keep exercising, eating right for the rest of your life. You don't get to stop doing those things. And the problem in business is we treat that goal like it's the end, except we have to keep working on all those things. The good leadership, the good sales training, the good culture, it has to continue. What I think is more interesting than hitting the goal is what happens if you miss the goal. So if you look down at that scale and you miss your goal, you miss the arbitrary number by that arbitrary date, you know what happens? Nothing. Nothing happens. In fact, because you've been working hard, you're actually much healthier now than where you started. You just didn't predict the right day and the right time.
Playing an infinite game is never-ending activity because infinite implies endless. However, human mortality and electronic device with limited battery power mean that uninterrupted play is impossible. Finite games are played to be won and end when someone emerges victorious. In contrast, infinite games has no clear objective other than to continue playing. The rules, boundaries, and participants may change as long as the game never ends. How infinite games impact our finite games and our lives. It examines various aspects of our world, from finite games played on field and boards to infinite games found in culture and religion. Provides insight into how both types of games are played and how infinite games can transform our understanding of everything from acting to evil to science. While finite games offer wealth, status, power, and glory, infinite games offer something far more profound and grander. Competition can take the form of both sports and war, involving individuals and teams. However, unlike in the Roman arena, sports do not require taking lives to win. Military planners and field forces use game theory and wargaming to prepare for battle and strategic objectives, but once bullets and artillery are involved, it is no longer a game. Winning a football match against a rival team may result in hosting a trophy and celebrating with fans, but in war, the objective is to destroy the opponent's ability to operate offensively and defensively by destroying equipment, capturing or killing field forces, and destroying their economic base. The goal is to ensure that the opponent never returns to the battlefield. Establishing high-quality objectives for your sales representatives can significantly enhance their ability to sell. These objectives may be relevant to your company or serve as a source of motivation. In any case, employ smart goal setting to provide direction and elevate your team's performance.
Change starts at home. Saying that the politicians have to change, like everybody knows that, but they're not going to because they have become more finite-minded, which is an election is a finite game. There's a beginning, middle, and end, and there's a winner and there's a loser. But the minute you win your election, now governance is an infinite game. But the problem is they don't make that conversion. And it used to be, and I talked to some congressmen about this, some old timers, and they were explaining to me that back in the day, 80% of the negotiations would be done behind closed doors, and the last 20% was for the cameras. And now it's 100% for the cameras. And back in the day, the goal was that each party could go back to their constituents and say, we won. And they could both go back and say, we got what we wanted, and appease their constituents. Now it's not enough to say we won, we also have to demonstrate that the other side lost, which is a finite mindset in an infinite game, which decreases trust, cooperation. But if we want to go backwards and look to the root, I think that Contract for America back in the day, one of the components of that, and but this is not political, I don't care about the politics of it, but there was a component of it that said to congressmen, don't move your family to Washington when you get elected. Stay home in your constituency. So now what happens is you have congressmen come to work for about 3 days in Washington, and then fly home, and they're not meeting their constituents, they're fundraising for 5 days a week, right? But the problem is, back in the day, they fought, and they disagreed, and they hated each other, but they sat in the bleachers together to watch their kids play baseball, and they went to the same PTA meetings, and they were friends, and they socialized, and it's really easy to compromise with a friend. And you could sit back and be like, I can't do that, you know I can't do that, you know? But now there's no friendships, they don't know each other. They sleep on their couches at work, and they only know the people they hang out with, which is their own party.
The majority of the conflicts we witness are staged for the purpose of attracting attention and generating revenue. It is similar to professional wrestling, where the performers pretend to fight in front of the audience and then split the earnings at the end of the night. Republicans and Democrats engage in a cycle of exchanging insults and soliciting donations through letters and emails. Change is a difficult process that involves taking risk, facing failure, and receiving criticism. Fear often prevents individuals from taking the first step towards change, which is the most challenging and daunting part of the process. However, these steps also open doors to freedom and opportunities. Although everyone aspires to change the world in their own way, it can be challenging to know where to start. Changing oneself is a necessary prerequisite for changing others. Despite the discomfort that comes with change, it is essential for progress. Believing in oneself is crucial even if the world does not follow suit. It is possible to transform yourself into the best version of who you can be, no matter where you currently stand in life. Even if you feel stuck in a difficult situation, it is important to recognize that change is possible. If you're tired of feeling unfulfilled and want to see different results, it's time to shift your mindset and take action. It can be challenging to remain optimistic when facing depression or anxiety, but it's crucial to demand change in all areas of life and believe that things will improve. To take progress, you must be willing to do things differently and seek out information and best practices that will help you achieve your goals. Remember that the future is of full potential, but it's up to you to take the necessary step towards a better life. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. For more videos like these, please subscribe.